Just breaking out of that interview with one of those victims to bring you the breaking news that the Archbishop of Canterbury, Justin Welby, has resigned. He has said that the review is clear, that he personally failed to ensure that after disclosure in 2013, the tragedy was energetically investigated. Let's just tell you what Justin Welby has said in this statement. He said, having sought the gracious permission of His Majesty the King, I have decided to resign as Archbishop of Canterbury. The Make-In review has exposed the long-maintained conspiracy of silence about the human abuses of John Smythe. When I was informed in 2013 and told that the police had been notified, I believed wrongly that an appropriate resolution would follow. It is very clear that I must take personal and institutional responsibility for the long and re-traumatising period between 2013 and 2024. It is my duty to honour my constitutional and church responsibilities, so exact timings will be decided once a review of necessary obligations has been completed, including those in England and in the Anglican Communion. The Archbishop goes on to say, I hope this decision makes clear how seriously the Church of England understands the need for change and our profound commitment to creating a safer church. As I step down, I do so in sorrow with all victims and survivors of abuse. The last few days have renewed my long-felt and profound sense of shame at the historic safeguarding failures of the Church of England. For nearly 12 years, I have struggled to introduce improvements. It is for others to judge what has been done. He says, in the meantime, I will follow through on my commitment to meet victims. I will delegate all my other current responsibilities for safeguarding until the necessary risk assessment process is complete. I asked everyone to keep my wife, Caroline, and my children in their prayers. They have been my most important support throughout my ministry, and I'm eternally grateful for their sacrifice. Caroline led the spouses programme through the Lambeth Conference and has travelled tirelessly in areas of conflict, supporting the most vulnerable, the women and those who care for them locally. And then he concludes saying, I believe that stepping aside is in the best interests of the Church of England, which I dearly love and which I have been honoured to serve. I pray that this decision points us back towards the love that Jesus Christ has for every one of us. For above all else, my deepest commitment is to the person of Jesus Christ, my Saviour and my God, the bearer of the sins and the bearer burdens of the world, and the hope of every person. So that is the Archbishop of Canterbury there, saying that he has spoken to the King and has decided to resign as Archbishop of Canterbury. This is about the abuse victims who had been urging him to resign after a scathing report into a cover-up in the Church of England. There has been a petition which was started by 3 members of the General Synod, which is the Church's Parliament, calling for Justin Welby to quit. That hit more than 10,000 signatures today. He had apologised after the Make-In review concluded that this barrister, John Smythe, who was thought to be the most prolific abuser associated with the Church of England, might have been brought to justice earlier had the Archbishop formally alerted authorities back in 2013. Well, let's cross the skies. Amelia Harper, who's at Lambeth Palace, the home in London of the Archbishop of Canterbury. And Amelia, the Archbishop getting to the heart of the criticism of him here in this resignation letter. The criticism was that he didn't do enough at the time. He didn't alert the authorities. But in it, he said, here, when I was informed in 2013 and told the police had been notified, I believed wrongly that an appropriate resolution would follow. So he is seeming to say here that he believed the police had been notified in 2013, but despite that, he is resigning anyway.